That was really funny. I wish that you would have told me that joke earlier. I would have went up to all of his friends and said that. And my grandpa would have liked that joke a lot. It's along the same lines of when I like to introduce Michael as my first husband. Hey Muff, say hi.
Hey.
So we just walked around and did all of our shopping in the plaza. We're staying at the Fontaine. I don't know if I told you that, but it's so nice and we're so close. And even Muff Butt loved West Elm. He got himself 2 nice plates. They're like one's of Teen Wolf and one's of like a cat lady. So it's his and her plates. And I got a really nice serving dish there, obviously on sale. And then Muff got some good jeans at Banana. I got another little incense holder at Urban Outfitters. What else did you get, Muff? Oh, he got really good beard stuff at what's it called? The shaving company or something. It's really nice. Anyways, I was going to tell you when you're talking about tinted moisturizer, you got it. This stuff is thebomb.com. This is like all I use anymore when I really want a makeup-y face. I learned it from Teddy Mellencamp on Bravo, so don't say that it makes me dumber. I learn good stuff. I also have my thing that I said at my grandpa's funeral, so I can read it to you like you were there, okay? So you can tell me if I was funny. Okay, so I said, my grandpa always told me he never had favorites. Yet when I would call him on his home line and he would answer and then ask who it was, I would always holler back, "It's your favorite." And he was even quicker back to me with, "Oh, hi, Lindley. Good afternoon, friends and family. I'm not Lindley, but I will always have strong faith in my belief as David's favorite. Our bond has been something so sacred and so strong since my earliest of memories. In fact, there is embarrassing home video footage of me squealing on my highest octave for Papa as I, not so athletically inclined, scampered across whatever room or backyard in search of my favorite person, my grandpa, Davidina. He has been making me laugh and has filled my life with bountiful joy for as long as I can remember. In fact, much later in my adult life, my own father looked me pointedly in his swelled-up eyes and confessed, "I was always so jealous of Grandpa and the love you both shared for each other." My dad was right. He was the apple of my eye. APPEL. You know when people say it is so much more fun to be the grandparent than to be the parent because you don't have to discipline the child? Well, my grandpa basically abused this notion. He used to speed up as we soared over every speed bump. My dinners consisted of soda, hush puppies, and french fries, and he let me eat as much of his ribbon-worthy homemade cherry pie as my tummy could take, while National Lampoon's vacation flicks were on constant rotation. Sometimes we extended our tight bond to include my hilarious Uncle Steve. This trifecta bonded over inappropriate jokes and making other members of our family uncomfortable. But we didn't care. We were in it for the belly laughs. Near the end of my grandma's life, David's wife Eileen used to always tell my mom, "Diane, you should get a catheter. They're wonderful." My mom had 2 kids and a trampoline as her worst nightmare, but she never actually considered using a catheter in her 50s. Thankfully, Steve, Grandpa, and myself saw an opening for a good laugh on her. So after my grandma passed away, my grandpa carefully tucked away one of her unused catheters. Almost a year later, we wrapped it up as a Christmas gift to my mom from her mom post-mortem. My grandpa, Steve, and myself needed our own on-deck diapers from laughing so hard as she opened it in front of loved ones come Christmas Day. I'm pretty sure Diane still isn't ready to laugh at that yet. But my grandpa was never intentionally trying to upset anyone he loved. He just loved life, and he loved to laugh. He was also one of the kindest souls this earth has ever known. He and I were such easy criers. He told me it's because we're too tender-hearted, but he also told me that it's a good problem to have in this life. He was also incredibly cheap, but because of that, he was able to be so generous with his kids, and he also wanted to bear witness to his grandchildren making smart financial decisions, which is why he happily invited my now husband and myself to live with him rent-free as we paid off our debts. Mine were college tuition and my husband's were medical. We paid our way over there with games of pitch and haircuts. My name is Angela Dawn, and I represented the A in our in-house Mad Club. Michael, Angie, David. I would have long days of going to school and working, and Michael would also have long days at his new job at Info Group. he would be in the living room, and once he knew we were both home, there he would be, supervising us scarf down a dinner before shuffling up, because he wanted to soak up as much time as possible for his favorite part of the day, playing pitch with me and my husband, not only because he cherished us, but because we are wicked good card players. In my grandpa's final days, we reminisced about favorite stories and memories. My husband thanked my grandpa for his extreme generosity and support that allowed me to fall back in love with him as we started a life together. My grandpa thanked us for always making him feel so special. He was the only other person in the room to witness my husband get on one knee to propose to me. And when I did walk down the aisle a year later, I stopped short so I could give a special embrace to my king, my grandpa. He wanted us to know how honored he was. But we were honored. In fact, I think anyone is honored to have ever known him. I don't think I have ever heard him say a bad word about another human being, ever. I asked him about that before, and he goes, "Well, your grandma does enough of that for both of us." He always had a charming comeback to almost anything you tossed his way. One of the last videos I recorded of him during our evening visits was when he said to me, "Angie, do you want to know when I became a believer in God?" Of course I did. He said it was when he married my grandma and his mother was very sick. Something told him he needed to see her earlier than his already planned weekend visit. So that evening he drove out to Dannebrog and stayed up all night with her, sharing stories, laughter, while wrapped up in the warmth of each other's love. That following morning he woke to her gasping for breath, a sound he hoped I would never hear myself. An hour later, she was gone. He knew then that God intervened for them to have such a beautiful send-off. And David's send-off to heaven was also beautiful, peaceful, and poetic. He lived to be 102. He was also extremely talented. He could crochet anything. Hi, honey. There exist two of my favorite photos of he and I that demonstrated that while illuminating our immense love for each other. He crocheted me mittens as a small child, and my mom requested that he keep the thumb off the right hand because I was an avid thumb sucker. The first photo depicts me sucking my right thumb as I chose my thumb over him. The second photo is after my mom has shouted, "Grab her other hand," and that's when I'm happily sucking my right thumb and holding my grandpa's hand with my left as I look up to him with all the admiration this world could offer. I look forward to the next time I'll hold his hand in heaven as we walk together picking bouquets of Indian paintbrushes in our next lives. In the meantime, I will continue to carry him with me and look for ways he reveals himself to me from above. Yelskaday today and always, Bussa. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Ira's diarrhea, then I will cry. Muff, are you excited for those days?
Diarrhea?
Lots of diarrhea?
I'm so used to it already.
Oh my god. Yeah, you are. Anyways, okay, your hair is pretty hilarious. You look like half lion, which is just the only kind of statue my husband wants in our entryway into the basement. He loves lions. And I'm sure you'll look like a hot dish. Once you live here again, I'll have lots of leather goods you can borrow from me. That's for sure. So, yeah, send me an after. Love you.